Doing good.
Nick, obviously we got the word about Joel and Paul. In terms of their participation in practice today, were they able to do any live 5-on-5 or anything like that today?
You guys got the update. They were in parts of practice.
Sound-
On we go.
Sorry.
Sorry, apologies, but go ahead.
It sounded like you guys went pretty hard for a good chunk of time today during practice. What was the focus, or were we trying to hone
Just trying to establish and maintain some type of identity and toughness of who we want to be and who we are and how we want to play, which finally showed up there 3 games in. Just staying on that track.
With Joel's plan,
I'm not going to answer. Go ahead. Anybody else got anything? They've given you the updates on that, right? They've given you the updates on Joel. Go ahead.
What was different about Tyrese Maxey in the second half on Sunday?
Started making shots. No, I mean he got certainly something clicked in there that got him going. He drove hard to the basket one time for a foul. That was one of the things. He finally got to the free throw line, and I don't know. I just felt like he was certainly going through it, right? Certainly going through it because he had open shots and he just nothing was going his way, and I don't know. I just felt like that one time he blasted to the basket, drove in there, got fouled, made a couple free throws, and then when he made his next 3 after that, he was the bounce. He was back alive and full of confidence and taking over the game. Yeah.
In terms of Andre, how would you kind of evaluate and assess his game through the first 3 games of the year?
Yeah, he's been obviously really good the other night, right? He how many rebounds did he have the other night?
I think
17 and 2 steals, and I mean they're huge, right? And I think he's starting to figure out a couple other things too of where he can position himself both ends, but offensively as well to help us the most as there as well. But I thought he looked so much more comfortable. You know, the screen and rolls where they were doing stuff, taking double teaming, he's getting it and firing it and moving it, and every read he made was comfortable and good. I think he had one tipped away, but he was making the right read on that one too. They just made a little better play, but we got, it wasn't a turnover. We got the ball back on it. But yeah, he's doing a lot of really good stuff for us, and it's good to see him as well because it's a little bit hard to judge anything after the second game, right? So it's good to see a lot of guys play a lot better, more like we're used to.
my apologies. Tobias returns tomorrow.
Yeah.
What stood out to you about his time with you?
Well, I mean, obviously, a rocky year last year, a rocky tenure, to be honest. But, I mean, coaching against him going into it, we always had the game plan for him, and he always, did a bunch of different things. Did the same for us last year. And just the weight of what was ever going on about his contract and his play and did it match up and all that kind of stuff wasn't much fun to be a part of. A really good guy who was a great pro and tried really hard and worked really hard and produced a lot. I really like him. I like him as a person. I like him as a player. He's a versatile guy and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I feel like shooting slumps is when they happen early in the season, like they're magnified just because you don't have a lot of data. So, but in your career, like helping guys along when they've maybe hit a rough patch, like what are the keys as a coach to? And I'm sure it's individual for each player. But
Yeah.
you learn about
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the biggest thing you're always trying to do, and it's not easy, is you're trying to convince them how good they are. Right? And it doesn't feel very good to them when shot after shot, I can't figure out, I can't figure out why I don't know, my 7-year-old son came home from Little League the other night. He said, I don't know why I wasn't hitting tonight. Right? He didn't know why. He's doing everything he thinks right and trying really hard, and you just got to keep saying you're like really good, Tyrese. You're really good, man. Just want you to know that again. Right? You're really good. Stay with it. Stay with it. There's ups and downs, right? And just got to ride through them. Sometimes they're not much fun when you're in a down moment and things like that. But you got to continue to believe in yourself. Yeah.
Nick, what do you get different, Kyle being a starter or Eric being a starter?
Yeah.
coming off the bench?
Yeah, I'm still searching just a little bit. I think I made the decision to start Kyle in Toronto because he's really good on Grady Dick, was kind of featured for them, and he went in there and kind of took him out of the game. That was part of the decision there. Obviously Eric, a little up and down as well, but certainly coming off an up game was excellent the other night. But it's kind of how I envision those guys a little bit. Doesn't really. I mean, Kyle started and played. I took him out 3 minutes into the game, right? Just didn't seem like he was going to impact that game for long stretches of a time. So I kept bringing him in 3 minutes here, and Eric was, until it got to the kind of point where we knew Eric was really key part of what we were doing. And then you go to overtime and all that stuff. The minutes start piling up a little bit, but I think it's going to be that, like, how do they look? How does it look like they're moving? How the matchups, all that kind of stuff. And ultimately, I hope that they play, somewhere around the